Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and what is a place like me doing in a girl like this? Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hey, somebody get on the set and pluck her eyebrows.
Her poor eyebrows.
Oh my God. I'm like, who is this woman? I know who she is, but I don't. I was like, that's Rachel Weisz?
Yeah.
I mean, she's beautiful. Not be.
She's so beautiful, but her eyebrows are super 90s.
Yeah, it's distracting, but I can't wait to talk about this with
90s eyebrows. We are dorking out about 1999's The Mummy. We're on a Brendan Fraser kick right now. We've done Encino Man, we did Airheads. Then we were talking about like our creeps, and he was like one of our not a creeps. And I don't know, we got a little crush on him right now. So we decided to do The Mummy, which is, obviously based on
True story.
Yeah, true story. And also like old Universal monsters. This Mummy in particular is written and directed by Stephen Sommers, and it stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah. I love John Hannah.
Yeah,
Every time he shows up, I'm so happy to see him. Arnold, Vosloo, Kevin J. O'Connor, Jonathan Hyde, Oded Fehr.
Sure.
Let's say that's right. I want to know, did you see this in the theater?
No, I didn't see this in the theater, and I don't know why.
Interesting.
Because I love Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
and this is like great escapism. So I don't know what I was doing in the summer of 99, but I didn't see this movie.
Interesting. I did see it in the theater. It was a big year for Brendan Fraser because, for Dudley Do-Right came out, which I know I didn't see. But I think the year before was George of the Jungle.
Yes.
And then Blast from the Past also came out in 99, which is super cute. If you haven't
Very
seen
cute.
Blast from the Past, do that. So I definitely saw it in the theater, and I remember being really focused on the fact that he was shooting a gun at a sandstorm at one point, but I still enjoyed it and thought it was fun, and my crush for Brendan Fraser continued on after this movie. But I'm curious what you thought about this rewatch.
I have not. I did see it. I've seen this before, but it's been a while, and I'm not sure what I saw. I'm not sure I understand the plot very much.
Yes.
I think Brendan Fraser, if he did all those stunts, no wonder he was in so much pain.
Oh my gosh, he gets the shit kicked out of him in this movie.
They beat the snot out of him in this movie. I mean, all the actors, I'm sure they were all hurt. I think John
Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, he like fractured his wrist or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And poor
Well-
Rachel Weisz, her eyebrows, they just kept going after her, plucking them. Pluck, 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 when she was tied down. I'm sure that's what had happened.
I think they grew back. I hope they grew back because
Oh, they did.
some of us 90s people plucked our eyebrows and not so much.
Whew, you don't have to get them waxed anymore at some point. You're
So
like, oh boy.
unfortunate. Oh, 90s eyebrows. I don't know if the story made total sense to me all the time. I tried to take some notes where I was just like, okay, there's some stuff at the beginning about forbidden love in ancient Egypt. Then a bunch of people are mummified. A guy has his tongue cut out. He's wrapped up and buried with bugs. Cut to 1926. That was my version of the story. I mean, basically, there's like a couple of star-crossed lovers. They're separated by death, and the mummy is coming back. And he wants to resurrect his love.
His girlfriend.
Yeah, that's some love. If you won't come back from the dead and then try to resurrect me, I don't want it. So we meet Rick O'Connell, that is Brendan Fraser's character, and I don't know if he's like a soldier or a mercenary or just some adventurer dude, but there's a whole thing with like a battle at the beginning. I don't know what that battle is about.
No.
And then it cuts to Rachel Weisz, and she's playing someone named Evelyn. They call her Evie for short, and she's a librarian, and she's adorable. Everybody drink. But she's also so clumsy. That's such a 90s thing, to be beautiful and smart, but you're also such a klutz. No one will ever love me. I'm such a klutz. Like, she destroys a library, but she's so cute. She's so cute.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And John Hannah is her brother.
Yeah. Love him.
He's great. I mean, Kevin J. O'Connor, what an interesting career he's had, because he was in Peggy Sue Got Married, and he was like a romantic rival.
Oh my God!
Nick Cage. He was the not hipster,
the writer, the
beatnik.
Yeah. Oh my God! I totally forgot.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
and then I think he does voices now. I think he's for Batman cartoons. It could be somebody else, but it's just an interesting turn for him, that he's just playing this weird, very strange character.
Yeah.
He screws with them all the time, so I don't care that he gets attacked by bugs.
As my 10-year-old said, that's what you get. That's what you get.
So Calvin liked the movie?
He did. And to be fair, Calvin might just be liking everything right now. I think Calvin is very sweet and looks for the good in everything. So It's an excellent trait to have. And it was pretty funny to watch it with him. He's very obsessed with who's good and who's bad. And he really wants bad guys to get what they deserve. And then he'll say, that's what you get. And I'm like, that's right. That's right. So Rachel, Evie and her brother, what's his name? I should try Jonathan. Okay. He has somehow come across this like little intricate box. And at some point he took it from Rick O'Connell. That's the Brendan Fraser character. I don't know how he got it. Did he win it gambling? I don't remember. But then they decide that they're going to go back to this lost city, and they need Brendan Fraser to take them to the lost city. So they go to find him, and he's in jail, and he's about to be hung. And
I hate that scene.
I hate that scene too.
And he was really hurt.
Yes.
He almost died.
It's not worth it. These movies are not. Don't hurt yourself for movies. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Let stunt people take care of these things, or don't do that. Yeah, I didn't like seeing that, but there's that's where they kiss for the first time. He kisses her because he's about to be hung, and he's like, why the fuck not? And I get it. And she's actually quite smitten with him from the get-go.
Because he's Brendan Fraser.
Because he's Brendan Fraser.
Hello.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I get it. So she negotiates to save him, and they go on their adventure to the lost city. And like I said, they have like some like, I don't like you, banter, but it's totally because they want.
I'm just here for the money.
They just want to fuck. They just want to fuck like immediately.
And that's the next movie we're going to get. I was hoping so anyway. I haven't seen Mummy 2 yet.
I saw the Mummy 2 when it came out, but I don't remember too much about it, to be honest. This is the one that I saw a few times.
It did $416 million box office.
It made so much money.
Oh my God, that's stupid money.
Yeah. I get it though, because this movie is very fun. It is.
You could watch this anywhere in the world. It could be dubbed and you know exactly what's going on.
It owes a lot to like Indiana Jones movies.
Yep.
It's like Brendan Fraser is so charming. Mm-hmm. Like you really like him. He definitely has that like Harrison Ford Indiana Jones vibe. They have lovely chemistry. Like they are really great together. I think John Hannah is really funny as the comic relief. Like I think the movie felt a little long at some points. Like they could have trimmed it up. Like but it's not a big deal. It doesn't ruin the movie for me. I just think it's watchable as fuck. Basically, is what I wrote here in my notes.
It looks great, and even with the special effects from '99, it totally holds up. I think anyway. I think that when the Mummy, so they have a book and when it's the super heavy book, and when you read from it, shit happens. So you think people would stop reading it, or you think like, maybe this has got some bad juju, but they keep reading from it, and so that brings Imhotep. Imhotep. Does this make you want to go to Cairo?
Nope.
Same here. I am not a desert person.
I am also not a desert.
Dead.
No.
I honestly, whenever I see a desert movie, like I would be dead in like an hour. Like,
no,
I would get lost and just suffer and die.
I don't like to be hot. That is like my fucking nightmare, is to be like hot and you can't cool down. I would hate it. I would hate the desert. So I will not be going to Cairo anytime soon.
But it looks great.
It does. Absolutely. And little tip for y'all, when you find an ancient book, just don't read from it out loud. Right. Don't. It always goes badly. Always. Don't read out loud from ancient text. That if you take anything from this podcast.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking of the mummy, because in the past, the mummy's always just like a bunch of bandages on a person and their arms are sticking forward. That's in Scooby-Doo anyway. When they're chasing each other. My favorite part of Scooby-Doo. Yes. But anyway, no, I like the way that they created him, what he looks like.
Yes.
And it is terrifying. And I get it in the movie. Like when you go to the movies, you just want to see something special. And this is special.
Yeah. It was a super smart choice to make him not like a mummy who just shuffles around and is like, if you think of, like, I know I've seen like the old mummy movies and they're super fun, but you're also like, you could just outrun the mummy. Like you could,
or just knock him over, really.
Yeah, really. You could just trip him.
He's just plastered.
Just trip him, just pull some of the bandages off and trip him, or
poke him in the eye.
Yeah, wrap the bandages around him and knock him down like my dog did to me. You could bust up his elbows and keep running. It's super easy.
You just have to send Max.
That's right. Max just knocks him down and runs off. Bark, bark, bark. No, this one is terrifying. I mean, he moves around. He kind of turns into a sandstorm and floats around. There's like there's a point where he takes Rachel Weisz and like they're fucking traveling by sandstorm.
Yes.
Like she's like wrapped up in this sandstorm, I guess. And that's how he like travels. And he's scary. And the actor's name is so that's Arnold Vosloo. He's very handsome.
He's super handsome, and they have like a little, he is just wearing a very little costume, and he looks good. And they said he cut out alcohol and sugar for the whole shooting because he had to keep his. Like, yep, no, I know your pain, dude.
I won't be doing that anytime soon.
No, but
no, he's super. He is real handsome. Yeah,
he's good. He's a good foil.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that he is playing it straight.
Yes.
Like he is playing it like a real. He is a villain. They are. Well, they're both. The woman is a villain too, but because they do kill that dude at the beginning. I don't know.
Oh, you mean his girlfriend?
Yeah. They're villains.
They are, but they're in love, and it's a tough time, Sonia.
It's a tough
the
time.
Life expectancy is not very long. If you're hot and you want to get some money, you want to live a big life, you got only a short time to do it.
You're right. It wasn't an easy time for women. I'm judging her by too harsh of standards.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. So there's this whole thing where like now they're going to the lost city. It turns out this other group is also going to this lost city. And there's like a bunch of cowboys. They're like, hee-haw, we're going to get some treasure. Hee-haw. They're all like Yosemite Sam, like, yahoo!
The epitome of just trashy Americans on vacation. And if you've ever been overseas, you're just like, as an American, you ever see Americans in their sneakers and their baseball hats.
Yes.
in fancy places going, gosh.
Gersh, do you have a burger on the menu?
Do you have mayonnaise? What? Oh, ranch dressing. What do you mean you don't have ranch dressing?
Do you have anyone here who speaks English? Yahoo!
Speaking English.
Ugh,
Ugh.
ugly Americans. Yeah. So we have a bunch of cowboys that see, even my 10-year-old was like, why are there cowboys? And I was like, good question. I have no answer for you for why there's cowboys. They're treasure hunters and cowboys. Sure. Why
Sure.
not? Why
But
not?
they have to have a fight, and they have to, you need to add to the whole. There's a lot of comedy that goes on here
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I think it is funny. And they needed a bigger group so that the mummy could kill some people. So
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't miss them when they're gone, but it gives them some
Exactly.
victims.
And they die in some pretty fucked up. Actually, I will say this. Almost everyone who dies in this movie dies in a real fucked up way.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, there's the people at the beginning back in ancient Egypt. I mean, they mummify them alive, like pulling out their brains through their noses and like cutting out
Yeah.
their tongues and wrapping them up and burying them with these bugs that eat you alive. That's some fucked
It's
up
intense.
shit. Yeah.
It's intense.
And then when the mummy comes back, he's taking body parts from people. So he's like taking eyes and tongues, and it's fucking gross, man.
Well, he's reusing them, Sonia.
Yeah, he's recycling. He's
recycling.
He's eco-friendly. I get
Yeah.
it. Where's your recycling bin? That's him. You'll find me in Cairo asking for the recycling bin. He takes eyes, tongues. He travels by sandstorm, and he can open his mouth like crazy, crazy wide and like spit bugs at people. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah. He's an intense villain.
He really is. I don't want to mess with him. And then on top of all of this, there's these men in black who keep showing up, and they're like waving swords and like killing people, and then
Right.
and then giving them warnings, leave or you will be killed. And I'm like, or you could just tell them why you're there instead of yelling and waving swords, because
Or tell
eventually
him where to go.
yeah, eventually he joins them and works with them. And I'm like, why didn't he just say at the beginning, like, hey, this is an ancient ground. There's some serious fucking evil here. Like, instead of showing up and like yelling and waving your swords. But that's okay, because you got to let a lot of shit slide in the Mummy. It's fine.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about how smart Evie is. I like that she is smart. She's not just... There is a whole thing where they have to save her, which, of course, that's the kind of
Yes.
movie it is. But she is also really smart. And
She's a librarian, Sonia.
yeah, I love when she says, I am proud of what I am. I'm a librarian. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you are, girl.
And you're hot.
And you're hot. Get drunk. Kiss that man. Do it. I'm here
And her
for it.
brother's her best friend, and they hang out. And I love her life. I think it's great.
It is. Just her eyebrows. That's the only thing. That's the only problem.
It's plucked to like a weird. I mean, oh my god,
It's the worst thing about this movie.
her hair looks great in this
It
movie. I don't know if
totally
that's a wig
does.
or not. Oh my god, it looks amazing.
Yeah, she has beautiful nightgowns too.
Yeah, and I read some places that when they got wet, they were see-through, so they had to digitally. And I'm like, can't she just get some Spanx or something underneath? Like,
Yeah. No, she
they do
had to be
these
naked. So
actresses all the time.
I
I
know.
know.
no, the crew needed something to look at.
Right.
So I appreciate how smart she is. I like that Rick listens to her when she's talking too. Like, he is actually curious about, he doesn't just dismiss her like, that's all a bunch of simple tricks and nonsense. He believes it, and he listens to her, and there is like that instant attraction. I like that they're drawn to each other. There's a
Yes.
whole thing where the mummy shows up and he's going to take her. And there's this look between them where she says, like, if you don't save me, I'm going to come for you first or something when I'm a mummy. And they kind of, I don't know, they just share this look like she's trusting him to save her. And
They're both really good actors.
They
He was in
are.
what's it? Was it Gods and Monsters? Is that the
Yeah.
name of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're both really good actors, and it's really fun material. It's very heightened,
Yes.
It's you do root for them. It's a little long.
Yeah.
There's a lot that could be, but you know, I guess they want to give people their money's worth.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they do. There's a ton of action in this movie. I mean, once they read from the ancient text, don't do that. Like they really like all these plagues start, right? So they get the bugs and the mummies out there, and then it starts like raining fire, and the locusts come out, and all their booze turns into blood at one point. I don't know why that happened, but like all the booze and the water, everything turns to blood.
Oh, right. That was really gross.
Yeah, it was so gross. And this is what my son said when that happened. Ew, I don't want to be a blood drinker. just water, chocolate milk, and juice. I thought it was very specific, and I like that. I like that the mummy, I thought you would appreciate this. The mummy doesn't like cats. And then I wrote, he is a monster.
Because cats know better. They could see through that evil.
Yes. Only a monster doesn't like cats. Come on.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they don't just release a herd of cats to fight him, but that's okay. Once again, what are you going to do?
It just throws some friskies and let them go.
Exactly.
Just shake the bag.
Yeah, just throw catnip on the dude and release the cats. Problem solved.
Yeah, there you go.
I killed your mummy, right? Meow. Get it, everybody? I love puns. I positively love puns.
So there's a lot here I don't understand.
Okay. Hit me. Let's see if we can figure it out.
So Imhotep,
yeah,
he's going to sacrifice Ellen, and that will bring back his girlfriend. So he has a scene where like the body or the mummy body is next to her.
Yeah.
Rachel. And I don't know.
I guess he's going to raise the girlfriend's spirit and put it in her mummy body, and then the mummy is going to like take over. She's going to take all the body parts from Evie, I guess, kind of like what he's been doing.
I guess that's what he's doing. It was just confusing. And then they have that whole scene where so Rick and the friends, Rick O'Connell and his friend, they come in and they interrupt that. And then he basically, Imhotep takes away Rachel Weisz again, and then sends them off.
Yes.
And then she's like, look, he'll spare me. You got to go. And then as soon as he starts to go, he just turns to like, okay, I'm going to kill you now. It's a little.
Yes.
But I did like the part when they were on the airplane.
Yes.
And they're flying, and that British actor that's in A Million and One Things that I can't remember
John
his
Hannah?
name now. No. The one that was piloting.
Oh, yeah. Who is that? I forget.
He's that guy. He's in a million different things, but I kind of like they're in that janky airplane.
Yeah.
And they're fighting the sandstorm, and there's John Hannah's on there, and he's freaking out like because he's on the wing, and then the other guy is just like, woo!
Yeah.
Like it's the best time of his life. That did make me laugh.
It was funny. And that's when Brendan Fraser shoots at the sandstorm.
That's when he shoots the sandstorm. And then she distracts Imhotep by kissing him. And that moves the sandstorm away. And then the plane crashes.
Yes.
And then the guy just dies. And then it goes into the quicksand. That turns into quicksand, which was my biggest fear when I was a kid.
All of our biggest fears.
Quicksand.
Yep.
And that which also solves the problem. Like it buries him in the plane so they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And then they continue with the movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, what are you going to do? Bye.
Thanks for the lift. Bye.
Thanks for the ride, sucker. Yes, that is all. Why he shoots at a sandstorm, I don't know if I'll ever understand it, but sure. Why not? But
in the end, obviously, like, they do the incantation.
Yes.
And that saves them, except for I'm looking him up, Benny.
Except
Gabor?
for Benny.
Benny.
Yeah.
poor stupid Benny. He gets eaten up.
Yeah, it's
And then-
pretty gruesome to think about actually Benny's fate, because all the walls close in and now he's in the dark and the bugs are going to eat him alive. I'm like, that sucks.
But he did it, but he sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to get them killed. I mean, he was not exactly a great friend.
Yeah. That's what you deserve. That's what you get. Yeah, there was no tears shed here in this house when Benny died.
No, Benny was asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of it. They ride away on camels.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful when they're on the camels.
Oh my God, the sun, like, it's like that magic hour. They're like glowing. They share a kiss. It's so sweet. They like bump noses. It's adorable. And I just wrote in my notes, do you think they make out on the camel the whole way home?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think at some point they jump off the camels. They tell the brother to kind of walk away for a little bit. They find a little palm tree or something.
That's
I don't know
right.
what they have in the desert.
Yeah, they're not going to wait.
Find an oasis. Yeah.
They're not going to wait.
They hop back. Yeah, then they keep going. Like they were just waiting for it. So
yeah, sucks to be John Hannah after the closing credits of this one.
He's been through a lot. He's going to have a lot of trauma to try to manage when he gets home to England.
There's the whole thing with the mummy, and then my sister and this guy were doing it. Oh, I'm so traumatized.
People were dying around me. Mummies came to life. I was almost killed several times.
I fractured my wrist.
I fractured my wrist. It's like he's been through, and it's funny. I was reading in the trivia there about him. He's like, he was the only person offered the job, and he took it because it's a shitload of money, and why not? But he was like, I don't know why they had me in here at all. And it's like, I kind of get it.
He makes sense. Yeah, I read that too. That they were like, he wasn't really known for comedy, and I'm like, well, he did Sliding Doors, which is, well, I guess
a comedy.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a comedy, but it's a romantic comedy drama, I guess. I'm like, and he's funny in it.
He does a whole thing where he's doing
Monty Python.
Monty Python. Thank you.
Yeah.
So he's got his funnies.
I think so, for sure. I really like him. He's just one of those people. Did you ever see the reboot with Tom Cruise?
No, have you?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Really? How bad is it?
It's real bad. Real bad. Honestly, the only thing about it I liked was the mummy. Oh God, who plays the mummy? It's a woman. And she's real spooky and creepy, and she's fast, and that was the best part. Like, Tom Cruise is terrible. I don't remember who the female lead is. That's because she's completely unmemorable. Like, there's a whole thing where they try to cram it because they were going to create this dark universe, right? Like a whole new Universal Monsters universe. And he was the kickoff, and that movie just did not work. And then they kind of shoved Russell Crowe in there as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's not a good movie. I can see why they were like, oh, never mind. Maybe we won't do this whole reboot.
It takes years. I mean, first you have to write something decent.
Yes.
And then, then you have to get the stars attached to it. And then you have to have the special effects. And it's a lot of work. I can see if you have like one huge failure. And if it's also like one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Yes.
Can't get people to go.
Right.
That it would be tough. And I think like, as much I like Universal too. I like their monsters and I love those movies, especially in October, Halloween time.
Mm-hmm.
But they are kind of cheesy compared to what the powers and people can do in the Marvel universe or DC universe.
Yeah, these kinds of movies have to be done right. I think
they do.
This one I feel like was done right because it's like a swashbuckling adventure, and that was the way to go. That is not what they do in the reboot with Tom Cruise that I remember. But like I said, I don't remember that much of it because it wasn't very good. I am
curious about Mission Impossible, though.
I love all the Mission Impossible movies. Yeah. They're super fun. Absolutely. I saw that they offered Tom Cruise this first Mummy movie, and he turned it down. So no wonder he said yes to the second to this reboot. He's like, well, I missed it the first time.
And
So
it's good. Yeah, it made a shitload of money.
and it had a ton of
But
sequels.
yeah, but Brendan Fraser said that after making 3 of those movies, he was in so much physical pain that he
Yeah.
couldn't even work for a long time. He had to get all these surgeries.
I know. That it's so sad. It's really sad, like how much of a beating he took for movies that truthfully didn't really need to exist.
No.
Like this one is great. It's super fun. I have not seen the second one since the theater. I remember thinking it was fine. But then they made a third one and they don't even have Rachel Weisz. They replaced her with Maria Bello and I'm like,
Yes.
no, she's no Rachel Weisz. Brendan Fraser and those characters and those actors have really great chemistry and they're really fun. And I don't think you could swap one out and put in someone else in their place and it would work. So
I'm looking at all these, like, the adaptations, looking at the Wikipedia page, and they barely even mention Tom Cruise's adaptation because it sucks so much. Exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah. So this version was offered to Tom Cruise and he said no. Apparently Brad Pitt was also offered a role. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were all offered parts. Obviously Brendan Fraser was the right choice.
Oh no, he's absolutely the right choice.
Yeah.
He's so tall
and
handsome.
He's so handsome and just fun and
believable.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Brad Pitt could have done this, but I don't know.
But he wanted to do that. It was that Spartan movie he did where he had the Roman sandals.
Troy.
What was that? God, was it a shitty movie that was?
All of those movies were because there's like Troy. What was the other one? There was one just called like Alexander, and then there was
that was with Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
and Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Oh God, there was like a whole bunch of like early Roman stuff.
Yeah, well, because and Gladiator came out, and then everybody was like, "Let's make these, sword and sandal
shitty versions of
sword and sandal movies," and it's like, ugh. Yeah, they were. I mean, Gladiator's fine. Did it deserve to win 1 million awards? No, but
No.
it's fine.
It's watchable though.
It's super watchable. I get it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm like, what else? Have you seen any of the sequels? No. I saw the second one. I saw The Mummy Returns. I did not see The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
What's that one?
That's the one with Brendan Fraser and Maria Bello.
Oh God, no,
and then,
that doesn't sound good.
Then there was a prequel called The Scorpion King. And that's the one with The Rock. And I did not see that one either.
No.
Hard pass.
What's the one with, I gotta look up the Tom Cruise one. Sophia Boutella, Annabelle Wallis.
Yeah, see, I don't know any of those people.
Any of these people. Jake Johnson. I'm going to talk about Jake Johnson and when I'm working out this week. So keep that in mind. Sonia.
I will. I'm going to look up because I'm trying to remember where I knew the woman who plays the mummy from. She's in something else that I had seen.
Kingsman, Star Trek, Beyond, Atomic Blonde.
Oh, you know what? She was in Atomic Blonde, but she was also, I think I had seen that Star Trek before, and I really like Star Trek Beyond. I thought it was I thought it was really good, and she was the alien that lives on the island that kind of forms a friendship with
Jayla.
With Simon Pegg's character. Yes. And she kind of looked like Gwen Stefani in the movie. Anyway, that's what I knew her from when I saw The Mummy. And
I just saw Anton Yelchin. Oh, how tragic was that?
That was a
my
bummer.
God, what a way to go.
Such a bummer. That one sucked.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about some other 1999 movies?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Run, Lola, Run.
Oh, I liked Run, Lola, Run.
Me too.
I loved it. Yeah. That should put that on the list. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Okay. Let's write it down. That was a good one. Speaking of our list, Go.
That's on the list, you guys.
Yeah,
Sarah Polly is moving up our list.
Yeah, I think maybe we'd do that one next week. That would be fun. We could do another 99. Why not?
Why not?
Office Space.
Love Office. How is that not on our list?
We can totally do Office Space anytime you're ready. I am a fan. I was working in an office job at the time.
Me too. Me too.
And there is some shit in that movie where I was like, this is spot on.
Oh, I was on a double date. And like afterwards, we were all like, holy shit. Like just the die motherfucker die with the printer.
Yeah, where they take the printer out to a field and beat it with a baseball bat. I'm like,
we got to move that up the list too. Sorry, that's got to be okay. We got to save that. Okay.
All right, I'm writing it down. Office Space. We'll move it. We'll just do a whole bunch of 99s in a row.
Why not?
I'm into it. Election.
Great movie.
Such a good one. Actually, I think just about every movie on this. 99 was a really good year.
This is,
a really good year. So Election came out. I love this next one so much. The Sixth Sense. I love it.
I love The Sixth Sense. Oh my God. This was a really great year for movies.
Toni Collette first of all, everyone in The Sixth Sense is good. This is a Toni Collette fan account now. Like, I just love her and everything. And I think she's so great in that movie. Like, I think a little underappreciated, actually. I think the twist kind of overshadowed how great she is in that movie. Bowfinger.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I think you would like Bowfinger very much with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy.
And Eddie Murphy's playing the doofus?
Yes, he's playing like a heightened version of himself, and then he's playing a nerdy dude who happens to also look like that star. So Steve Martin is trying to film a movie with the big action star Eddie Murphy without actually using him. So he's like stalking him and filming footage and then using the guy who looks like him to fill in the blanks. It's really funny.
Oh my God.
I think you would love Bowfinger. You should watch it.
Okay.
It's hilarious. Being John Malkovich.
Love it.
So good. The Insider.
Love it.
So good.
God.
The Insider's really good. If y'all haven't seen The Insider, do it. The Green Mile.
Oh my God. I love The Green Mile.
I love The Green Mile. I have not watched it again since the theater because it makes me sob.
It will fucking rip your guts out if you stick with it. It's a long movie.
Yes.
But there's a reason why it's a long movie, and that's why the journey, it really pays off at the end, but you're going to feel like you were punched in the gut.
Yes. That movie
fucks you up.
Yeah, it fucked me up. And then the last one is The Cider House Rules.
That's a good movie too. Oh, wow.
That's a movie that I liked just fine, but everyone else super loved. And I was like, I get it. It just, for whatever reason, I wasn't in love with it like everyone else, but I appreciated it.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
We did a book versus movie of it a long time ago. Do you want to hear the movie comes out, this movie we're talking about today, The Mummy, it came out May 7th, 1999.
Yes.
So do you want to hear what the top 10 songs were that week?
Yeah, I do.
Fucking A. Okay. Number 10, Who Dat? JT Money and Soul? Soleil? Soul? I don't remember the song, sorry.
I bet if we played it, I would know it.
I would remember it, yeah.
Yeah.
Monica, Angel of Mine.
I do know that one.
Goo Goo Dolls, Slide.
Okay.
Could not escape. Slide.
All right. I will admit this freely. I really liked the Goo Goo Dolls back in the day. I had their CD, Dizzy Up the Girl. I was into the Goo Goo Dolls for sure.
They were great songs.
Yeah, they're catchy pop songs.
Yeah. I love this one. Whitney Houston, Heartbreak Hotel.
That's a good one.
Fucking dope song. Busta Rhymes and Janet. What's it gotta be? What's it gonna be?
I liked Busta Rhymes songs back in the day.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cher, Do You Believe in Love After Love?
That's a good one.
Sugar
Couldn't get away from it.
Could not. Oh God, that was a huge hit.
Mm-mm.
Sugar Ray, Every Morning.
Yes, another one. I still can't get away. I'm like, every time I go grocery shopping or something, that song comes on.
I kind of like Sugar Ray, man.
I'm fine with it.
Fly is a good song. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sixpence, None the Richer. What a pretentious name. Kiss Me. That song you couldn't escape.
Yes, it was it in She's All That. Is that? I think.
Yeah.
And we did an episode.
It's like every commercial too.
Yes.
Like they play it. Yes. TLC, No Scrubs.
Fucking dope song.
Dope.
I loved that whole album. It was so good.
And Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca.
Oh my God. I just heard that song.
He was a star.
I just heard that song again the other day, and I was like, I remember when this song was. There was
I
a whole
him on the Grammys.
Latin. A Star Was Born the day he did that. Like, because I think people knew the song. It was nominated for stuff. That's why he was performing at the Grammys. But I don't think they knew like what he was really like or something. And then he did that thing on the Grammys, and everybody was like, "What?" Like,
he did that song. Un, dos, tres.
Yeah.
Ole, ole, ole. It was like the World Cup song.
yeah.
And it was the first time like they really went all out. Like, and then we had a Spanish music,
Yes. Explosion. Yes.
Explosion, excuse me, not implosion, explosion. But he did a thing on the Grammys with that song, and it like because the Grammys are usually kind of a snooze fest.
Total
and they just
snooze fest.
Sexed it up, and he was a star after that.
Yeah.
Like forget it. Yeah.
Yeah. That song you couldn't get away from, and then after that it was like she bangs, she bangs.
She bangs.
You couldn't get away from that one either. He was such a huge. He's very handsome too. He's so
sexy as shit.
handsome. Yeah, it was a thing. Then you get like J-Lo started doing her thing, and then Shakira, Mark Anthony. Yeah, it was. I'm fine with it. I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Remember, then Smooth tried to cash in on it. Fucking Smooth comes up every week. Because Carlos Santana was like Smooth has that like Latin vibe, and that's why you couldn't get away from that fucking song.
You can't get away from it now. It's been 23
Why?
years. Why can't we? I don't know, but people still play it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. What else are you dorking out about?
So I just was watching HBO Max.
Yeah.
And it's a show called Minx.
I just put that on my list. I'm dying to know what you think.
Don't watch it with your son.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ophelia Lovapond.
Sure.
It's created by Ellen Rappaport, and it takes place in 1971. And it's a fictionalized story of Playgirl, but it's a magazine that features dicks.
Yeah.
It's a women's feminist magazine, Spankavision magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see more dongs than you've seen. I mean, it's
all right,
but it's fun. It's a half-hour series. It's very funny. It's racy. I mean, you're going to see a lot of full frontal and like 70s full frontal. So there's a lot of pubic hair.
Got it.
But I thought there's just 2 episodes out right now, but I super really loved it. I thought it was really funny. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be in my rotation.
Awesome.
There's also on the other spectrum, Evan Rachel Wood's documentary Phoenix Rising.
Mm-hmm. That's also
it's about
on my list.
Sexual assault. That's one like a trigger warning, sexual assault, grooming, all that stuff. It's unbelievable what she's been through. Incredible how strong she is. Anyway, we have Hulu, The Dropout.
Yes.
I'm still loving.
Great. That one is on my list too.
Yeah, on Apple, I'm watching Severance. Have you started Severance
No,
yet?
and that's with Adam Scott.
Yeah, Ben Stiller has been directing a bunch of the episodes.
Okay.
It's about Patricia Arquette is just a god now, like with acting, like she's just so believable. It's basically Office Space, but like a really spooky version of it.
Ooh.
It's people. What it is that when it's an office where you work at this place and you have no memories of your home life, and then when you leave, you have no memories of your office life.
Oh.
and you can't. So I'm trying to understand it, but you can't quit. There's something evil going on there, and you're not quite sure what people are doing. Christopher Walken's in there.
Oh, okay.
John Turturro is in there, and they have a flirtation that is weird and amazing.
Oh my, sold. This is moving to the top of the list.
I really enjoy. It's dark and it's weird, and I'm not quite sure where they're going with it, but it's super well done, and the acting is great. And it's just, you got Christopher Walken, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's got all that. I really like it. We Crashed. I'm going through that. That's Jared Leto and Anne
Hathaway.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And based on the WeWork space.
Yes.
No, the Uber one's on Showtime, and that's super pumped. And I've been watching that, and that's pretty good. And I just saw recently as well on Amazon, Lucy and Desi, and it was directed by Amy Poehler.
You know what? I was thinking about
Lucy.
watching that one instead of that being the Ricardos. I just can't bring myself to watch that one.
If you're really interested and you have to watch one, definitely watch the documentary.
Okay. Sounds right.
The movie's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve any awards. But it's fine.
I'm starting to think Aaron Sorkin's not my jam anymore.
And Nicole Kidman doing American accents is, I don't know.
There's just something about it that seems, I don't know. I just could not pull the trigger on it. I'm like, I can't spend the time. My time is precious, and I can't spend it on being the Ricardos.
And I think it's really interesting to listen to their story, because it is unbelievable what those two people created and how much success they had and the odds that were against them.
Right.
And they thrived, which is amazing, but they also suffered from it. And that's really interesting too. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. So those are the things I'm working out about.
Okay. That's so many things to add to my list.
Yes.
You are way ahead of me. I don't remember if I talked about this last week, but the Toni Collette fan club continues. I watched all of Pieces of Her, and it's not good, but I still watched every single episode of it.
Exactly, because she's in it.
And I really like her, and I really wanted to like it, and I just felt like once I started it, I had to finish it. I think it's a big old mess. I think the character of the daughter is too stupid to live. And
atrociously written.
Yeah. And once again, not the actress's fault, just the character. Nope. The way she's written is really, she just makes dumb decision after dumb decision, and it's very frustrating. So I'm not recommending Pieces of Her. I did happen to watch it. What I am recommending, and I'm super into, is Bad Vegan, which I think we talked about on our What a Creep bonus ep, but I'm going to repeat it a little bit here. Originally, I was like, Bad Vegan. It's about a vegan who likes cheese. That was my guess. And then it turned out it's another kind of Tinder swindler situation. And I'm fascinated that we're getting so many of these documentaries about the lies that I could say women, but I'm going to say people, the lies that people are willing to believe rather than be alone. And also the lies that people are willing to fucking tell. I'm like, or you could just get a job, you fucking loser. Just get a job. Is it, instead of like juggling all these lies and being like, I work at Black Ops and I'm a secret agent for the government and there's demons after me and all this shit that this person, I'm like, or you could just get a job. Get a job.
It's unbelievable how much people delude themselves.
Yes.
And they are very good at it. I'm always kind of like, wow, you're very manipulative and you really don't know a fucking thing about yourself.
No.
With people sometimes. And I'm just like, wow.
So this woman, her name is Sarma, had a restaurant in New York called Pure Food and Wine, and it was a raw vegan restaurant. And it did really well. It was super popular. In fact, my friend Charlotte texted me last night and said that She ate at that restaurant in New York back in the day and said it was one of the best meals she ever had in New York. She said it was so good. She's like, I wondered what happened to that restaurant. And I was like, well, here you go.
She wound up at Rikers, right?
I don't know where she is. Like,
well, no, she's out now.
Oh, yeah.
She was in Rikers.
Yeah. Yeah, she did time. And basically she's kind of friends with Alec Baldwin, and Alec Baldwin is tweeting with this guy, and she thinks that guy is Alec Baldwin's friend, and they form a relationship online. They meet in person, and he just lies. He lies so much, and she just kind of goes along with it. And eventually he's draining money from her successful restaurant to fund various things. I don't want to spoil too much, but the lies he tells, the people he ropes in to support his lies. There's a whole thing with like her dog that she adopted that she's, by the way, the dog's so cute. He's so cute. He's such a good boy. Leon's a good boy. He did nothing wrong. And the guy's like, you do this and you do that, and I'm going to make it so your dog's immortal. I'm like, why would you ever believe that? But people believe what they want to believe.
They do. And we said this on the bonus ep, but we'll say it here too. I'll say it here too, is that I forget where I read it, but you are most likely to believe a really crazy lie versus a basic truth. Mm-hmm. For some reason, our brains are kind of hardwired that way.
So Bad Vegan pairs pretty nicely with Tinder Swindler. I think that they're very similar in that way. And it's super watchable. Like, I'm in.
Yeah, that's on Netflix.
Yes, and that's on Netflix. And then I wanted to talk about, because we have not talked about it yet, the reunion of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me say this. Do you think Jen Shah is guilty?
Yes.
I do too.
I'm sorry. Can we yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so. Yeah, I think she is. I think to her, she was skirting the line to like kind of sleazy, but still legal. But I think it was just completely illegal. I think she was the head of it. I think that if she doesn't make a deal soon, like her trial's been postponed. Yeah. She's this person on the show who basically ran all these not multi-level marketing schemes. It was these email schemes and scams.
Yeah, it's like
where they would
collect your data.
They would collect data and then contact people who like bought things. Like they went for older people who would put a credit card on a thing and pay a subscription for a thing. Mm-hmm. And they would convince these people like, you know what you need to do? You just need a website and then create a business and you're going to make a ton of money and we're going to help you do that. And they would take down their information and then never create the website, never create. And there's a Hulu documentary about Jen Shah, and you meet the people that are victims of this and you just want to choke her when you hear it because it's so infuriating. And the thing of this crime is that people are so embarrassed to be swindled that they don't know they don't know what to do or they're too embarrassed to do anything about it. Yep. And they kind of count on that. And all you have to do is call your state attorney general, tell them what's going on, and they will get on that case.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're supposed to do. But people don't know that. But anyway, so she did that. She sold car insurance. She sold alarms. And somebody had like a voicemail of her. Like she would call people and say, I'm going to give you a low interest loan and
oh my God,
business loans. And just, it's so bad. And they bought all these lists. And then and it's the Southern District of New York. Just know this, you guys, if they're after you, you better,
you're probably guilty.
You're fucked. I mean, it's like 92% conviction rate. I mean, it's pretty intense. That's where the Nexium people were. Mm-hmm. That's where, I mean, there's just always. So anyway, I thought they don't need to be 3 episodes. They can easily just be 2. I think some of the husbands were really lame. And some of I feel bad for Coach, but at the same time, he knew what he was getting. She was I bet you she was a total psycho when he dated her.
Probably. Like, I feel I do like.
I feel bad for her sons.
Yeah, I feel bad for her sons. I do think she's guilty. I think all of the other women think she's guilty. They just don't have the balls to say it on a panel like that she's guilty because she's sitting right there, and they have to work with her. Like the shows love to pretend that they're somehow all friends. They're not friends. They work together. They're coworkers, and they have to
Right.
they have to work with Jen Shaw. So they're not going to sit right next to her and be like, "I think she's guilty," except for Heather, who said, "I don't care if she's guilty," which I was like, "Good answer. Good
That
answer." Like that then she has like deniability, right? Well, I thought she was guilty. I just don't care, you know. Anyway. Yeah, they the husbands were kind of lame. Especially Lisa's husband is such a I feel like he's so beaten down.
He's so worn down by life and by her.
Mhm.
Like, just, oh my God. I don't even remember his name. Like, he shows up like, oh yeah, that guy. 'Cause I remember Seth.
Is it
I know
John?
that coach.
I think it's John.
John, yeah. It's like, can everybody see John? Is John like really amongst the living? Is he just like,
Yeah, you're like, am I the only one seeing John? Does anyone else see
ghost?
John
No one
sitting
can
there?
see John.
I see.
And everyone see John. I wonder that.
Yeah, he's just sitting like, I don't know. I just thought they'd work it out. Like, are you talking? Are you talking? Nobody knows. And then Coach is just like, he's such a coach, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could tell that he's very motivating. He's very positive. But I'm also like, he must know that his wife is guilty.
He's going to have, yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for her kids, though. Do you think that they were like overly hard on Lisa for some strange? I felt like they were all gunning for Lisa for some strange reason.
Well, she loves herself, so she doesn't need anybody to tell her. She loves herself.
Yeah,
Baby gorgeous.
I think it's they all like gun for her and I don't know if it's because we just don't see everything, but she must be a real shit stirrer.
Oh, absolutely she is. I mean, she's the one. Yeah, she quit the show she quit a scene, but she called Meredith a whore and she fucked everybody in New York. And
damn.
Right?
That was like an epic hot mic moment.
Hot mic moment. And then that was like on one day, and like 2 days later they were filming the reunion.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they were all going for Lisa, because they knew she was.
Yeah. And then they had Jenny just sitting there who barely
It's gonna be a gone.
who barely spoke, and her racist Facebook post hadn't come out yet, so she wasn't really called to task for that. But here's what I don't understand, and you know way more about Bravo and Housewives than me. Does Bravo not do background checks or look at their social media or anything?
They do, but I don't think they do. I mean, they're so much more concerned with finding people that are that pop up on the screen and that are interesting to watch,
right,
and know how to interact with people. It's really hard to find people to do a show like this and find them interesting, because there's lots of seasons I don't watch because I just don't care.
Right, that makes sense.
So when you find interesting people, you kind of, and if you just don't post anything for a year or so, or you just clean up your posts, you're fine. Yeah. But it's an awful lot of them, and it didn't go back very far, and they didn't seem to catch it. And they admit that they didn't catch it. I think they just wanted, and this is the problem too, is like they wanted diversity. Yeah. And so I think they kind of just were pushing for that so hard they didn't bother, because anybody can be racist. Anybody, yes. Unfortunately, that's the truth.
Yeah. It's a bummer too, because I felt like she was contributing to the show, and
she was. Her husband's a fucking creep, though.
Oh my God, he's such a creep. I'm not a fan.
No, not a fan. I won't miss them.
No. In fact, they don't have to spend so much time with the husbands here. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's okay. I know they're trying to make them a thing, but
they are in New Jersey, but even there, they're leaning on that too much. So
good to know.
I am liking, though, I forgot to mention, I told you about this. Yeah. Peacock has Below Deck Down Under. They have 3 episodes. Really good.
Yep.
Really fun. Great. It's all in Australia. It's beautiful. They have a chef who's from Philadelphia, who's a total douchebag from the first second. And They have an episode right now. They just did a 2-part episode, and it was this rock and roll guitarist and his wife, and then their 2 friends. They were the male and female strippers of the year for Australia that year. So they're
Oh,
like showing their asses everywhere and their tits, and they're just getting
Nice.
drunk, and it's awesome. It's
All right.
really, really fun.
I
just
know.
have to say that.
I know. I keep telling everyone said like I should get a shirt that just says I'm putting it on my list because I am always and here's the thing. I'm always I literally have a list. I do put things on a list. There's just so much good stuff out there.
I know.
But that's why I depend on you and our listeners and my friends for recommendations so that I can narrow down that list.
I also saw, I forgot to mention too, Spider-Man No Way Home.
How was it?
It's okay. It's a little long.
Okay.
And spoiler,
Mm?
they bring back the other Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. That's
been spoiled, by the way.
I already knew that, and I haven't seen that one, so even I knew that. Basically that meme was going around of all the cartoon Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yes, exactly.
And I was like, oh, I know what's going on here. No, so I am excited to see it. I'm glad it's finally streaming so I could check it out.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like this Spider. I like him as Spider-Man. Not everybody does, but I do.
Okay. I think he's actually a really good Spider-Man.
He looks like he's 17, 18
Yes.
years old. Yeah.
I like Tom Holland very much. I think
Me too.
I think he's a really great Spider-Man,
And Zendaya is great.
she's so talented.
She really is.
She's insanely talented and she's just so gorgeous. I know, like, she's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love her. I'm not watching Euphoria because it looks like it's too, like, I'm just like, that's just too much for me. Like,
I can't pull the trigger on that one either. I know people love it, but
They do.
But something about it just,
I'm like, I just can't. Not right now. I'll get there eventually. I think that's plenty of Rex, though. Oh my gosh, my list is so
I'm
long.
sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry for giving me things to watch. How dare you? But this was really fun. I am so glad we did The Mummy and that we got to continue our little crush on Brendan Fraser for another week. I'm fine with that.
Oh, he was so great. It was so much fun.
It was really fun. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fitchick, mostly Twitter and Instagram, and my site is brooklynfitchick.com.
And if you like the sound of our voices, and I assume you do, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and the present, and we end every episode with someone who is not a creep. So right now our episode is about the Loveline creep, so it's Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew, and then the not a creep is Sarah Polly. Which is why Go moved up our list. We're having so much fun over there, so please check it out. If you would like some stickers for Dorking Out Show, you can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. We take requests, so if you have movies that you're just dying for us to watch and talk about, send them our way. You could send it to us on social media too. We're at Dorking Out Show, Twitter. You could put it on our Facebook. I try to check it, but once again, people just go there to complain about our salty language. And you could find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks for talking about The Mummy with me.
Imhotep.
Imhotep.